guess what? It's for you. God run something. Do it again. Run the play and let Archie's baby get a layup. Or let the opposite side work one time without you trying to go one-on-one. We gonna give you. Shit.
Jeff McInnis. I'm the executive director of high school basketball at Combine Academy. This is a great situation for me. Like I said, it's right here. It reminds me of Oak Hill of North Carolina. So we got dorms, we got everything that Oak Hill has, but they had the tradition. Right, we got classrooms, right.
They go to class.
We go to class here. So they had a tradition. So we're just trying to catch up with all these schools. It's building our culture. Like a couple coaches that's been through here said it's the hardest I've seen kids play in open gym. So I think our coach is starting to kick. They working hard.
Right. They
conditioning. We doing what we do. I do this in the summer, so for me to put my full program in for a year, I think people will be shocked to see us play.
Right.
So yeah, we're gonna surprise some people out there.
That's all shit, man. I ain't want you to never get beat like that, man. You don't have to fight through it. Come on, man. Get out. I got it. Get out. Get out. Get out.
When you picked up Jalen hood-schifino, I think that was the one player that everybody opened their eyes on. Let's go through some of your guys on the roster. Tell us about some of the guys you have here.
I think Chris Robinson, I think he's one of the best shooters in the state. Local kid from Lincolnton.
Right.
We have a couple freshmen that's crazy good. Robert Dillingham, the kid is super Allen Iverson type.
Oh.
Score the ball at will. Makai Grant, 6'8" freshman, he's pretty good too. Hickory Orange, 6'8" kid, really getting better. His defensive machine, but his offense is catching up. We got Archie Thornton, he's a wild runner on the wing, 6'5", just plays defense and runs. We got JB Blakeney, came from Forest Hills, played with Nas Tyson, so he's about a 6'6" hybrid,
right.
Played with CP3, so he's a good player. So we got some good players on our team, man, and we're just grinding.
Coach, you've had the opportunity to play for Steve Smith, who, in my opinion, is the greatest high school coach of all time. In the 34 years he's been at Oak Hill, he's won 9 national championships. You were part of that.
Right.
7 years he was runner-up. You were part of that as well. In addition, you played for Coach Dean Smith, 2 of the greatest coaches in my opinion. What lesson did you learn from both Steve Smith and Dean Smith?
I played for Coach Smith at Oak Hill for 2 years. When I went there, I was basically raw talent from West Charlotte, who kind of thought I knew everything about the game. He taught me how to be a college player, hold myself accountable for classroom, on the court. You know, I had a lot of things I didn't like to do. I used to reach a lot. So Steve Smith would every time I reach, he would make me do these monkey drills. Like it was a squat where I had to keep my hands on the ground. It was kill you, burn your legs and your hands. So he would just make me do it. So I stopped reaching and I became an all right defensive player. So that was a lesson from him, just not being late to stuff.
He came in 91 as a junior and played for me for 2 years. And he was as tough as you get. He was tough as nails. And of course he was from Charlotte. Went to West Charlotte back in the day when they had great teams.
Right.
And you know, I mean, he was one of the better guards I've ever coached. Not just because of his ability on the floor, but the way he played. He played so hard. He hated to lose. And we lost. I think when he was here, we were 70-2. He lost 2 ball games his junior year. We were undefeated his senior year with Stackhouse and the Buck. But that's, I mean, he just. And then he went to Carolina, had a great career, and then he played in the NBA for, I think, maybe 12 years, something like that.
And then Dean Smith, when I went to Carolina, he was more like a father figure. I mean, like I said, he's the greatest, man. Just coach, person, man. I just miss his calls, just talking to him. Like, he would just call you out the blue on a Monday night, you chilling at home, he would just call you, how you doing? I just check on you. Your family good? Just stuff like that. And then you saw what he did with the check. He was on his deathbed. He gave every varsity letterman $200 check.
Right.
So just that stuff. So, I mean, he just taught me lessons about, like I said, being on time, looking people in the eye when you talk to them, how to interview, don't say you know every time. So he taught me a lot of lessons that, you know, my father probably didn't teach me then at the time because he was our father because we was there with him so much.
We spoke to Steve Smith about you, and he told us that you were in his 34 years of coaching, you were the toughest player as far as competitor he's coached in 34 years. He also said you were one of the players that hated to lose.
Yeah.
So when he told us that, I see that in you as a coach. Going into that game against Oak Hill and Steve Smith, what does that game mean to you?
It means a lot. Like I said, that school changed my life in a sense. I wouldn't be here today probably without it. So I was headed down the wrong path at the time I went to Oak Hill, so like it means a lot. Steve Smith was like another father figure to me. Man, I just remember 16 years old when my mom dropped me off. He just took me in. I was lost at the time when I met him, so to be able to coach against him like probably 20 years later, I don't know, man, it'll probably be emotional for me to just be going against him. I want to beat him. Once I start competing, I'm out there, but
that's in your blood,
just
Coach.
the whole thing, just even thinking about it now, like walking out there, just seeing him on the sideline.
If these kids don't play hard, they're not playing. So we know it. We're going to get a group that's going to play hard. They're not going. Some teams will play us, and you'll be up 15 before you know it because of the intimidation factor. They're playing Oak Hill, and they look at your chest, the name on your chest, and they're scared to death. His teams are not going to be like that. He's going to have them ready to play because if they're not, he'll just pull off the court and put somebody else in because it's how he is. I mean, they're going to play extremely hard, and plus he's got talent, so it's going to be a real good game.
It's going to be a great opening game.
Yeah.
We welcome every challenge, man. That's what it's about. I think our kids come here to play a national schedule and to play against the best teams. Win or lose, we're going to learn from every game. We're going to go out and compete. Like I said, we won't back down. We're going to go at every team we play. We won't back down. Like I said, we'll play against anybody and just go out here and show them. Just the main object is to get these kids scholarships. So wherever those big time teams are, we want to play them because we know the college coaches will be there.
Of course, getting to coach against him, if you've seen him on the sidelines, he's very animated. When he called me, he said, "Coach," and he said, "I want to play that little gym." Well, he knows because he played here. And I said, "Don't you come up here and show your rear end, you know." So I know the first bad call, he's going to be looking at me, and I'm going to have to go talk to him probably. But because he's as competitive on the bench as a coach as he was as a player. So it's going to be fun, though.
I know what I could do. I'm never short on confidence in what I do. I put the work in. People just probably see me yelling and screaming on the sideline and think I'm a crazy coach, but we put a lot of work into this. We study, we scout the other teams. We know our players that we playing against, and we put a lot of work into it. So people don't see that until they actually get around me and see how on point I am. I go to Vanderbilt just 2 weeks ago. We sat with Stackhouse for 2 days, and we just went over plays and stuff like that. Darvin Ham's one of my good friends. He coached for Milwaukee Bucks, so he comes down all the time. We talk basketball the whole time. So I got the right people around me to help me get to where I'm trying to go. But like I said, I just got to prove them wrong. And not so much. I just do what I do, and I know what I can do. I'm here to help kids. I'm in the right place, so they'll see it. I'll shine one day for them. I know a lot of guys were more talented than me when I got to the NBA, but they didn't play as hard as me. They didn't practice hard as me, so some of those guys never had a long NBA career, so I know that hard work trumps anything, just to me. I just believe in it, and if you work harder than a lot of those teams that you mentioned, and we can play with them or possibly beat them if we just work hard. So the ball gonna do what it do, go in and not go in, but you can always control your effort, and I believe in that. And it's got me this far, so I want my teams to understand that and play the same way.
I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone in progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling.